Friedrich Nietzsche apparently warned us about Kaizanblu, Penguin Zero, and Andrew Tate. Shit, he warned us about damn near everything. This man lived in a completely different world from the one we inhabit today, yet it seemed he had infinite wisdom. Wisdom that, even 100 years later, YouTubers still manage to squeeze 10-minute videos out of. I swear man, these philosophy niggas will do anything but a little bit of math. Despite this guy never having seen a PCB, let alone a soldering iron, I wonder if he had any similar warnings for electronics too. See, Nietzsche often warned about the herd, the idea of an individual attaching to a larger network, leading him to adopt the beliefs and ideals of those around him. Kinda like how everyone was praising Minecraft back in the day. This game just doesn't move me, man. It's got bullshit graphics, there's no dialogue, there's no lore, and I gotta farm stuff? It just doesn't seem like a good time. But anyways, the problem with the herd mentality is the attachment the individual feels, stuck in place, unable to question any belief. This is exactly what soldering does. It forcibly holds every single component down, permanently strapped to its specially shaped cage, making sure to strip every last component of its individuality. Now contrast this with a breadboard. There are no fixed solid connections, and you can remove any component at any time with little effort. It no longer feels like the circuit demands the component to work for it. It feels like each component is just encouraged to contribute to the output. Now you might think I'm reaching here, and you'd be absolutely right. I just pulled this straight out of my ass, bro. But it is something that crosses my mind every time I take a puff of some lead fumes while soldering. Even though I prefer breadboards, I absolutely cannot use them for this. This circuit needs precision. It demands patience, serenity, and poise. What does the circuit do? You're not gonna believe this, so just watch. You impressed? Okay, it's a lot deeper than just turning the light on. This is actually memory, and if I mess something up in the circuit, we might lose the ability to reliably control the data we want to remember. Keyword, reliable. This is what we're aiming for, a circuit that will work perfectly 100% of the time, and isn't easily disrupted by a few loose connections, which are very common in breadboards. That's why we're going with the PCBs. But this stirs a couple of problems into the mix. The main one being this board has to be perfect the first time it powers on. The properties of this circuit make it almost impossible to debug if anything goes wrong. Trust me, I know. The second problem is if the circuit gets messed up, we lose all the components that are soldered onto it, which hurts my already struggling bank account. Now the final problem, well, I hate to say it, but I have to lay my hands on a soldering iron. Me soldering is like going to one of those surgeons to change your eye color. The result's just always worse than you'd hoped.
Wow, that's awesome.
How you feeling seeing yourself for the first time like this?
I like it. This is awesome. Oh wow. Is this permanent?
It is.
Oh wow.
Listen, you can't tell me my soldering form isn't on point. Just cause the meatloaf didn't turn out right doesn't mean you didn't follow the steps correctly. Maybe the oven's just not set up correctly. Yes, I'm blaming the equipment because this is textbook form and you know it. Just do that 100 times and this is the result. And these joints are actually clean. Look at the chrome finish on them. Now let's do the transistors, which are gonna either make or break this video. So I finally got these two boards soldered and we're about to test them. The result of this test can be any of three possible outcomes. 1. Everything works perfectly on the first try, which would be great. 2. Everything blows up. Not so great. And the worst possible outcome? Nothing happens. Now that would be tragic. So here's an example of the circuit working. I have input data here that I can change from a 0 to a 1, and whenever I press this button here, I want this green LED to copy whatever the blue LED is. So since the blue LED is on, after I press this, the green LED turns on, and it's able to remember that state, even after I change the blue LED. Now let's see if these two boards work the same way. The blue LED, it turns on, which is a good sign. And if I press this, holy shit, they both don't work. Fucking crazy. Okay, this is a fail in my record. But if you think you can outsolder me, you're free to try. go ahead and get these boards from PCBWay, the sponsor of this video. Not only can you get the best quality PCBs, 3D prints, and CNC cuts from PCBWay, they also have a booming community of makers that are willing to share their projects with the world. And I'm one of them. So if you want to showcase any of your builds to encourage others to start building, or if you just want to get some inspiration from a project, then head on over to PCBWay's community tab. In fact, if you follow my profile there, you might get some insight into what the next video will be about. Keep an eye out for 3D printed parts there. I have something legendary cooking up. Thank you to PCBWay for sponsoring this video and being a long-time supporter of the channel. I might be laughing now, but that was genuinely infuriating. Each board is about 2 hours worth of very boring work just for the shit not to work. I've also lost about 150 resistors and 125 transistors, which I'm not very happy about. Luckily, I've managed to get 6 of these boards to work, so I'll use those for most of the memory, and I'll be making the rest on breadboards. Maybe it's best to use the PCBs for combinational logic, which is much easier to debug, but I'm gonna start sticking to my breadboard and butter, which I'm very used to. I'm planning on setting up a few live streams for the final parts of the build so you can follow along. We've done this much so far. And what's nice about that is we can actually ignore some of these circuits for now and start thinking about how to get some instructions running. Subscribe so you don't miss the streams. You can also join the Discord down in the description for more casual updates and to keep your pulse on some cool projects the guys in the Discord are cooking up. There are a couple of cool dudes in there and we'd love to see what you're working on. You can also hop in there at any time and challenge the fabled beast himself. The chessboard torturer, the conqueror of Karo Khan, the clapper of cheeks. Me.